The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
Sir?
Ah.
Manscaped?
Uh-huh.
Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says Weed Whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped, what are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These
Wow.
caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So Manscaped is a
You-
must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do
know
the deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Racing
Well, Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well-manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that. As well.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear, then
What is
retro? Just,
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
finish
through.
up.
Trooper. Yeah. He's a trooper. Gotta give him an A.
Yeah, not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Man, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
holy
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
Hey everybody, this is ESO and welcome to the After Show, seen here only on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel. And while we're on that subject, I got to send a special thanks out to Mike, Monty, and Jimmy Pharaoh for hosting me on their channel. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here now, and thank you guys. You can see the Monty and the Pharaoh show every Thursday at 9 o'clock p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. They're also streaming on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Music, and all those streaming services you can find them on. They are awesome. You guys have to check them out. If you don't see them, they're the lead into my shows, so hopefully you caught them before you came over here. Well, I'm only going to touch on a couple things today. I'm having a little bit of computer issues, so right now I'm recording off of my iPad and my iPhone, so I'm a little bit challenged here, but I'm going to do my best. Things I want to cover today, I want to cover that go-home show of Raw. Not overly impressed. It didn't really sell me. I want to go over the Elimination Chamber itself and the matches. And then I'm going to try and talk a little bit about the mecca of the Poughkeepsie Civic Center that I want to bring up. I only want to talk about the 70s era at this point. Just a few things to touch on, and some of the things why I set it to mecca. And the person who sent me the message saying, how could you call that little arena Mecca? I'm going to prove to you why that place was a Mecca of pro wrestling. So let's get on with with Raw. So Raw started off with that Becky promo. Was not impressed. I'm not sure where it's coming from. It didn't make any real sense. And then Bianca coming out there and saying, oh, I'm a fighting champion, so I'm going to just jump in the ring with both of you. What's going on with this women's division? The women's division seems like it's just being booked as an afterthought at the end right now. You have these amazing, talented women, and we're not giving them the chance to do the stuff that they should be doing. Man, I overall, I don't know what's going on with creative. I think we're at a stumbling block a little bit. Maybe we got to. Maybe it's McMahon's influence back in the building. I don't know, but something with this women's division right now isn't sitting well with me, and I really think we're wasting some great talents. So next thing we get into is that Judgment Day Street Profits match. Again, not really sure why it was booked, or other than to bring Edge out at the end. And I'm sorry, I'm done with Edge and Beth already. You saw that little bit of a pop they got? It's going to become less and less every time. Edge, retire, go away, stop coming back every 3 months. You're going to disappear after this pay-per-view and then show up back just before WrestleMania? I don't know. I'm tired of you just disappearing and coming back for the cheap pop. Beth, you were an amazing talent back in the day. Your days are numbered also. Please, you guys are you're legends. Use your legendary status to be ambassadors to the business, not waste my time on TV. Let these younger people get over. There's talent that's not getting utilized because you guys are there. So, sorry. Next, contract signings. Contract signings are stupid. They're the exact same thing with every time with somebody going through a table, getting smashed over the head. There's always a fight. There's always something, and then somebody signs a contract and slams it down and walks away. That's happened since the 80s that I can remember. Come on. Just don't even bother booking them. It's a waste of time. Put more matches on. Put some talent over. Get more talent on TV. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Piper Niven and Michin. All right, where to start on this? Piper Niven, you do not come off as a badass. Rhea Ripley, you are a badass. You are legitimately a badass, and you come across as one. I would be scared to fight you. Piper, you have a sweetheart of a face. You shouldn't be doing a badass role. I don't know what role you belong in, but this one is not it. And let's face it, you were facing Michin. Michin, she is a badass. I don't think you should have beat her. I think the wrong person went over in that match. 100% that should have been Michin's match to win. Let's push that woman. She is awesome. So, okay, now this part, I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers with this next one, and that's the Sami Zayn angle. What the hell was that? Sami Zayn is a whimpering, whiny bitch now? What? You needed him to come across as a badass. He's going to face the best champion in the past 30 years, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And he comes out whining, do you really think I can beat him? Oh, thank you, Cody. Oh, my gosh. You just took all wind out of him. You just made him look like an absolute wimp. Why would anybody want him now being eventing WrestleMania? That was horrible. You just took all the wind out of his sails. You made him look horrible. There is no way that guy could legitimately beat Roman Reigns this weekend. It's the way he was booked this week. There is no way. Thankfully, Cody was involved in that in the promo too. Otherwise, that would have he just saved the day, and he made himself look good, and he got Sami somewhat back on footing by the end of the promo. But wow, whoever wrote that skit should be canned. That was dumb. You just ruined the main event of the Elimination Chamber. Duh. Now the only way Sami Zayn could win at the Elimination Chamber is with some type of outside help. There's no other way. You ruined him. I'm sorry. That was stupid. Hey, everybody who doesn't agree with me, please feel free. Leave it in the comments. I'll respond. Don't worry. But that's my thought. Sammy came across as a wimp. Next, actually, was one of my favorite parts of the night was the Cody Corbin part. That was hilarious. I like Baron Corbin. I'm not sure where they're going with this, but that was actually pretty amusing. I have to say. What was next? The women's 6-man match. I'm just not even going to touch on. I touched on it enough of it earlier. Asuka, love you, Asuka. You deserve to win. But overall, that match was. I'm not even going to talk about it. So, Otis, I love Otis. The alphas are done. Break them up. Otis should be in the male models. Sorry, that is going to be freaking hilarious. Great. Whoever wrote that, awesome. Nice job. 100%. That was amazing. Then we led into that Bronson Reed Ali thing, and okay, we're going to just put that with that women's thing, and there's no angle, there's no reason. It's just whatever. And now we come to probably my favorite part of the night, which a few years ago, I don't know why I would ever say that, but The Miz was my favorite part of the night. That dude is hilarious. He is the MVP of WWE right now. There is nobody who touches what The Miz can do. He on the mic, he's amazing. He's putting over people. He's made so many stars in the WWE by putting them over and putting them through Miz TV. I can't stress how important that guy is to this company. He is the true MVP. Way to go, Miz. I love booing you. I'll just leave it. He's the ultimate heel. I can't. He's great at what he does. Boogs, you looked great. Came across as a little too much of a meathead, but overall, Boogs, you look amazing, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with you. Now that culminated with that ladies match between Bayley, Bianca, and Becky. Good match. Bianca won, so Becky and Bayley are gonna probably have a different match at the Elimination Chamber, so we get to see them fight again. Wow, exciting.
Hey guys, it's Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You're probably wondering why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us, and use Anchor.
Yeah, exciting. You can hear the sarcasm. Who's booking this women's division right now? Not looking forward to that chamber match. I'm going to go over the chamber in a little bit, but I'm going to take a break before that. So, stay here. I'll be right back, guys. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the after show on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel. So, next thing I want to get into is first time I was on Monty and the Pharaoh, Jimmy interviewed me. And one of the things I said at that time was that I attended wrestling at what I consider a mecca of pro wrestling, the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. And I got a couple of emails about that, and one was a little direct, saying, how could you call such a little arena a mecca? 3,500 square feet, that's not Madison Square Garden, blah, 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 blah. It's not the Nassau Coliseum. It's not the Cow Palace. How could I call that little arena a mecca? So first thing I want to do is break it down by decades. So even going back to the 70s, the Mid-Hudson Civic Center was a huge part of the WWWF. Virtually every world champion defended their title there. Well, actually, every world champion of that decade defended their title there. So you had Stan Stasiak, you had Bruno Sammartino there, you had superstar Billy Graham there, you had Bob Backlund there, and you had Ivan Koloff there. All of the world champions of that decade were in that arena wrestling for a title. I don't think all of them defended their title there. I think I'm mistaken on that, but I think they all wrestled for the title there at one point, or defended the title. Wrestled for or defended the title. So, and then these names that I'm about to mention, these are the legendary superstars that came through that arena. Realize outside of Madison Square Garden, they weren't booking huge arenas. It was smaller arenas. They used to travel up to Boston, travel down here, then they would go to a place over in White Plains, another civic center. Then they would go to the Nassau Coliseum, the Meadowlands, back to MSG for a big card, and then go to generally smaller events throughout the Northeast, or venues throughout the Northeast. So check out some of these names. Larry Zbyszko. Young Larry Zbyszko at that point, because you have to realize he peaked in the mid 80s, so this was 15 years before he was in his prime. One I was really surprised about is the man of 1,000 faces, Mil Mascaras. Wow, I only got to see him wrestle a couple times on tape. I never got to see him wrestle in person, but I used to love the videos of him. He'd pull off a mask and he'd have another one and then another one. This one, no surprise, Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, of course, was there. Haystacks Calhoun, another big dude. Gorilla Monsoon. Johnny Rods. The Fabulous Moolah. Of course she was there defending her title. The first Intercontinental Champion ever, Mr. Pat Patterson. Chief Jay Strongbow. The Executioners. Dusty Rhodes. A young Dusty Rhodes. He's still cutting his teeth at this point. Ivan Putski. Somebody who I didn't know much about until the last few years, with The Rock gaining popularity and his watching the young Rock, was Peter Maivia. So Baron von Raschke. Abdullah the Butcher. I'm surprised. I never knew Abdullah was in Poughkeepsie, but hey, this is back in the 70s. This is before I was part of wrestling and watching it. Mad Dog Vachon. He was Butcher Vachon, so Mad Dog, Butcher Vachon there. Mr. Fuji. Tor Tanaku. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, these are just some of the wrestlers from the 70s. Realize every title was defended there. There wasn't a title change hands there until, I believe it was 1985. But every title was defended there, and it was a mecca. Think about it. Think about those names that wrestled there. This is a little tiny arena, and that's just at the start of the tip of the iceberg. The Northeast was a mecca of pro wrestling, and that little arena was part of it. That I call that arena a mecca, and I'll get more into it in the future videos, because there's some amazing stuff that happens there in the 80s and the 90s, and let's face it, even up until now, they're doing some pay-per-views for some smaller wrestling venues, but they are still part of pro wrestling today. I'm going to get into that a little bit more next time, but when we start discussing the golden age of wrestling, the 1980s. So this is ESO. I'll be back in just a minute. Hey, everybody, welcome back to ESO and the After Show. So, this weekend we've got the Elimination Chamber. And, as you could tell earlier, I really wasn't overly sold on the Elimination Chamber. It just seems like it's going to be a little bit on the dry side. Monday really didn't sell it. Maybe Friday, SmackDown will pull something out and it'll sell it for me. But if I didn't already own Peacock, I wouldn't be putting my money out for this thing. So let's go over some of it. So Bobby Lashley, Bobby Heenan, yeah. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar in the rubber match. We know this is going to be brutal. I really wish it was more of a WrestleMania match if it's with what I'm expecting of these guys, because they're gonna tear it up. That's gonna be the match of the night, but I think it's a waste being on this premium thing. I'm gonna just call it a pay-per-view. I can't remember what they call it, but it's always been a pay-per-view. I'm gonna call it a pay-per-view. But I think that match is going to be awesome. But I think it's kind of a waste. It's not for a championship. It's not for anything. You're going to have these two amazing athletes go at each other just for the hell of it. Yeah. Then we get into the one I'm looking forward to the least. Edge and Beth, Finn and Rhea. Well, here's what I think is going to happen there. Finn and Rhea are going to beat the shit out of Edge and Beth. Beth and Edge are going to disappear, and then they're going to show back up at WrestleMania and help, somehow help whoever the Judgment Day is facing lose. So it's done. I don't care. Stop. Go away, Edge. I mentioned it earlier, so I'm not going to go any further. Now we've got the Women's Elimination Chamber match featuring Carmella, Raquel, Nikki, Asuka, Liv, and Natalya. Well, the only two people that I really can see, three. Raquel could win it, but I really don't. Her character doesn't do anything for me. It's not over. I really don't think she's gonna win it. It's gonna have to be either Asuka or Liv. My bet is going with Liv. They really want to push this young lady. You saw how long she went in that Royal Rumble, and honestly, I think she deserves it. That girl puts her heart and soul into wrestling. We've all seen it. The only other one I could see winning would be Asuka. Natalya, love you, but you're not winning it. Carmella, I don't even know what you're doing in the match, to be honest. And I already spoke about Raquel and then the Nikki Cross. Nikki, I think that your day is coming. It's not yet. Not sure if this character is right for you, but it's getting closer. So keep up the good work, and you will be getting pushed later on, but it's not your time yet. So then we got the Men's Elimination Chamber for the U.S. title. So that's going to be Theory, Priest, Montez Ford, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, and Bronson Reed. Well, let's just eliminate Bronson Reed off the bat. He's not winning. Johnny Gargano is not winning. Damian Priest, I don't see them putting him over at this point. Judgment Day's got their own thing going. I just think he's a filler in this match. Seth Rollins could take the title at any given time, so I'm not going to discount him. Montez Ford, I think, is ready for that big push. I would kind of like to see him win, but I have to say, my money's on Theory. I think he's walking back out of there with that championship because he's starting to come across as that next level. I think he's almost ready to get up to that main event level. He's definitely doing better and better every week. So, keep it up, man. But so I guess we got some new stuff coming on to the Monty and the Pharaoh Network. I'm kind of excited for this. We got some new shows coming on, and then also we've got some returning shows. My favorite is going to be, of course, Tuesday Nights with Tony. Tony, you don't remember meeting me when I was a kid, but I met you twice. I met you the first time I was about 9-10 years old. That was over in Poughkeepsie. And then I met you again around, I would have probably been 18, 19 years old. You had done a show at the Armory in the city of Newburgh. And then you were staying over near where my condo was, and you were on your way to work out. You stopped, said hello to me, and again, thank you. We're always a stand-up guy. I can't wait to actually meet you in person, and I can't wait to watch your show again. So we have also Marty Jannetty coming on with a Mondays with Marty. Can't wait with that. It's going to be Marty and Mike Monty. So we got Marty and Monty. That's gonna be that should be fun. I can't wait for that. That's coming up soon. And then we've got the Minotaur. Minotaur is gonna have his own show. I'm not really sure what he's gonna bring to the table, but I'm again looking forward to it. Anything to help this network grow. Then so the other one that we have coming on, the man who mastered the kumite, Frank Dux. We've got the man Frank Dux, the man that was on every karate magazine in the 80s. The man who inspired Bloodsport. Frank Dux is coming to the Monty and the Pharaoh network, the Monty and the Pharaoh channel. Can't wait to watch you guys. Yeah, this is welcome to the family, and we got to keep supporting each other. So, hey, I can't wait to work with you. So that's about all I have today. Sorry if the recording isn't quite what it normally is. I'm doing this between my iPhone and my iPad. I'll be back up full production in the next couple of weeks. But until then, I'll see you next Thursday. Later.